Hello, my name is Jesse Mecham with another episode of The Jesse Mecham Show, and I'm here each week to obsess out loud about spending purposefully, saving aspirationally, giving joyfully. It all comes down to just one very, very simple thing that you must do with your money in order to never worry about it again, and that is that you must give every single one of those little precious dollars that you work so hard for. You must give them a job. And this idea of never worrying about money again, that is the outcome of someone that is good at money. If you find yourself worrying about money, it is because you are bad at money. And that does not mean you are bad. Far, far from it. There are times where Julie and I, honestly, just last year, where I could feel this kind of worry creeping back in, this money worry creeping back into our life. And I was like, what is this foreign feeling I'm experiencing? And I realized that it was worry about money. We had some big things coming up, and we went back to the basics. We started to give every dollar a job. We worked through the 5 questions, and we watched the worry melt away. We didn't make any more money. Same exact situation, except the worry was gone. And what we did there was basically, it's a skill we've learned. And that's why it's okay to say to yourself, maybe I am bad at money, because it's just a skill you need to learn. And it is very, very common to have not learned how to be good with money. Very common. Like, you're in the 90th percentile. Wait, does that mean what I think it means? Maybe you're in the bottom 90%. 90% of people are bad at it. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're not alone. You're not alone. Everyone at one point was. And then a few people, 10%, learn how to get good at money and never worry about it again. So it is just it's a skill issue. For instance, I am not good at chess. I'm trying to get better at chess. I want to beat my son, who's quite good at it for some odd reason. And I've been practicing and studying, and I am getting better. But when someone watches me play and they're like, dude, you just blundered your knight, I'm not going to say, how dare you? I'm a good person. The person's not talking about whether or not I'm a good person. They're just mentioning that I blundered my knight. And if you equate not having that skill of being good with money, if you equate being good with money to being a good person, you're off the mark. I'm not a good swimmer. I can swim, like I won't drown, okay? But I'm not a good swimmer. If you were to throw me in the pool with just a mediocre swimmer, I would lose. I'm pretty good at side stroke, but all the other strokes seem to elude me. I'm not a fast runner. Just not. I distinctly remember in grade school recognizing, how are these other kids so much faster than me? I'm trying my darndest. Just not the fastest runner. There are some things that come naturally to me. But chess, no. Swimming, no. Running, no. They're all physical, I'm not good at math. I'm okay at it. But if I would have taken a lot of upper-level courses, I could have gotten good at math. I could have developed my math skill. Honestly, communication's a skill. Are people good at communicating? No, you learn things. You practice. And then you become good at communicating. So, with money, take away the teeth of that whole, I can't believe that Jesse said I'm bad at money. Well, you objectively are. If you're worrying about it, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, if your whole schedule is wrapped around when your next payday hits, if you don't know what your money's for, if you're blindsided by routine, although not regular expenses, there's a trick there, if you feel a little bit of discontent when you spend, if you feel guilty when you spend, if you feel a little bit of second guessing when you spend, then we have some skill development for you. And you can get good at money. You just practice it. And you learn. You can learn by listening to this show, by jumping over to YNAB's YouTube channel, by grabbing our software at ynab.com/Jesse and giving it a go. But it is just a skill. You just have to learn it, like you learn to swim. And perhaps you feel like, I thought I was learning to swim and I was thrown into the deep end of financials. And that is pretty normal for people. You feel like you grow up and suddenly you're supposed to do this finance thing and you're in the deep end. But you can get out of it. You absolutely can. You can learn to be good at money. It starts with giving every dollar a job, and then you just work those 5 questions. And when you lose your bearings, when you start to feel money worry creep back in, you just reset and go back to that first question of, well, okay, with this money I have, what do I want it to do? And then when new money comes in, you'd ask yourself that same question. There are the 4 other questions to kind of give you different lenses through which to answer this primary question of what should my money do? What large or less frequent expenses do you have? What goals do you have? What do you want to set aside for next month to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle? Just skills. So are you bad at money? Well, probably. I'm just playing the odds there. 90% of people are. But it doesn't mean you're bad. My heavens, far from it. You are good. And you, dear good person, can also be good at money. Just give every dollar a job.